Okay, I'm back and I'm going to describe all the plastic parts. These four parts here are for mounting the engine in an anti-vibration approach, and I'll show you in detail how those work. So we're going to use these to mount the engines and not these two things. Looks like they'll work very well. I have not used them before. Here's the control arm for the nose wheel. And this servo here with this, this collar here with this nut, a bolt, will go in there, and that'll mount the nose wheel through this, and actually this and these two bolts will mount to the firewall for the nose gear. Okay, we've got 5 plastic clevises. And I'm going to use metal clevises, so these are spare. These two little plastic things are if you're going to use only one servo for the wings. These mount to the 2 rods in the wing for we're having one servo. So those are going to be spare because we're going to have 2 servos, one for each aileron. These plastic keepers I don't like. They're not as good as the quick connects, so we'll be using quick connects. So these 4 plastic things are extra. Here are the control horns, and you can see they're going to be just like the control horns I bought. So these 2 control horns came for the rudder and elevator, and those are the keepers that go behind them, and those 4 screws mount them together. How do you put all this together? Well, one way to do it is to again use plastic bags and group them according to function. So these 4 plastic things, and I'm going to throw these in even though I'm not going to use them. They go in there. These 4 screws go in there. These 4 nuts go in there. The 4 washers, 2, 3, 4 washers. The 4 locking washers. And then the 4 engine firewall mount screws and washers all go in one bag. So that goes with the engine mounting. Okay, and where's the engine mounting stuff go? Okay, so that's all engine mount. Oh, that's right. Okay, so I've got this to go with the engine mount, and so that's all going to be in one plastic bag. Here it is. Let me back out here. So I've got a bag for the engine mount. So the engine mount and all the tiny little parts will go in that, and that is the engine mount. Okay. Now all these nose gear and main gear all go together, so got all these together. Okay, so that's everything for the landing gear. Okay, so I've got a bag here for the gear and the wheels. It's already got the main gear in there, the nose gear's in there, and these are all the parts that go with the gear and the 3 wheels. So that's a complete bag. Okay. Now for the wing, as I said, this plastic one isn't as nice as the nylon one, you'll find that this little hex on the top really makes it easier, so I'm just going to say that's extra. Put that with the extra pile. And then the 6 screws that screw the speed brake on, the 4 screws that screw the center support together, and the I didn't want to do it that way. That's the messy way to do it. Okay, I'm going to dump all that out so you can see it all again. Okay, so I'll take another small plastic bag and say, okay, so I got the anti-rotation pin, the screws to mount the center, the 6 screws to mount the speed brake on are all together. So that bag of screws goes in with the wing center, the speed brake, and the bolt. Okay. And then, let's see, we got the rudder. We got a bag here for the rudder. So the rudder bag has a small bag in it with the metal clevises and the quick connects, but it needs the servo, the control horns, 1 control horn, 1 backer for the control horn, and 2 of the screws. That goes in there. That's the rudder. Oh, for the clevis that's in there, there's 1 clevis. I'm going to take one of these little blue fuel tubings that came with it, and I'm going to drop 1 in there for that clevis. And so that's the rudder. Here's the elevator. I got the clevis and the quick connect there. So to that I'm going to add the control horn, the backer, and the 2 screws for that. And so that is for the elevator. And let me add because there's 1 clevis in there, I'll put in one of these little blue fuel tubing kind of things, and that's for the clevis. So that's good. And for the throttle, okay, so we got the throttle servo, and the small package in here contains the clevis and the quick connect. For that I will add a blue fuel tubing, and I guess that's it for the throttle. And then for the ailerons, I went ahead and pulled out the 2 push rods. They're 6-inch long, threaded on one end. So they're threaded on this end, 6-inch push rods. So those 2 push rods are for the ailerons. I'm going to throw those in. And these 2 blue keepers for the clevis will go in there. And these are to screw on the back fin and horizontal stabilizer. So they're going to need a bag all their own. And so when we get around to screwing those on, I'll have that available. Okay. This, not sure what it is, why it's for. Couldn't find it in the manual. It described anywhere. but it looks interesting. I'm going to keep it. What I'm going to do now is just put all the rest of this stuff in the extra parts. By the way, I do use a digital caliper to measure all this stuff to see what size and dimensions and all. It gives me either metric or English measurements. So all this stuff is extra, and that'll be it for the small parts. Okay, so I've stored all these bags, engine mounts, ailerons, wheels, horizontal, vertical stabs, and even the extra parts are all in this box. And that box will hold everything, and the other box here is for the engine stuff because it all wouldn't fit in one box. So, hope you enjoyed this one, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.